7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's start right out. Hey, what happened?
Hey, welcome everybody. Hi. Nice to see you. What a crazy fucking weekend. I feel like we haven't talked in like 5 days. It's been 4 because we don't do show Fridays. But anyway, nice to see everybody. Hi. Welcome to the Dean Blundell Show. My name is Dean. As always, this is brought to you by our friends at Easy Auto Financial. Easy Auto Financial. Go get yourself a car. Quit screwing around with that subprime crap. Make sure that you go see the people that need to get you a car. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. Also, our friends over at Domination. Domination.com is where you go to try new content, get your content put into this little filter. You get 72 pieces in like 3 minutes. If you do content and you're trying to make promos and you're tired of wasting time and it's a pain in the ass, go to dmntn.com for more information and details. Free to try, by the way, if you're a content provider for any fucking bit at all. These are your guys. And thanks to our friends at Ed's Fine Imports. His Gitch are the best. Ed's Fine Imports Gitch are available right now at Ed's, and they're Canadian made. He makes them. His own branded underwear, luxury Gitch, pouch in the front. Gitch3 is your promo code. When you type in all the stuff, put your promo code in, you get an extra pair of Gitch for free when you order 3 pair. Go to edsfineimports.com today. And Blue Microphones is, of course, we're part of the Blue Crew. Everything we do, all 70 of our podcasts, the DeanBlundell.com podcast network, are part of the Blue Crew. You can be too by going to bluemic.com or at Blue Microphones. Check out everything they have, including these MoFi headphones and these XLR/USB mics that some of our guests can use and some can't. But everybody's here. We got a lot to get to. Trudeau is getting crushed. Like fucking crushed. So we got some politics to talk about. We've also got some massive foreheads in the anti-vax community, specifically with the ladies to get to today. We've got some work boots to talk about. We've got some kindness to talk about. We've got an eye on America, and we'll talk a little bit of nut pain today with our friends here. Darren Pfeiffer joins us from the rock and roll band Goldfinger. Hi, Darren. How are you? Nice to see you today. Also, James Difiore joins us from Blackballed, the podcast. Hello. Hello. And my friend Lachlan Cross joins us from 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton. Everybody's here. Good to see us all, isn't it? After a weekend like that, huh?
Crazy.
Surprised Lachlan made it because he had the Let's Be Friends concert this weekend. I'm surprised Darren's here. He was traveling all over doing punk rock karaoke around the United States, and I'm shocked James is here just because I'm always shocked James shows up.
I made it another day alive. That's great.
Anyway, good to see you guys. First of all, before we get to the show,
later on in the show, we're going to have some reptiles showings from
with Jack
James.
Hanna.
The ex-wife exhibit.
It does look like you live in a petting zoo with that thing behind you and with that shirt.
True. Or a gas station.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks nice. Before we get to the show and all the other stuff,
this here, kids, is a koala bear.
I went to. I didn't come to Edmonton this weekend. I know we had a scheduled event. We were supposed to join you at the Together Again concert. I know I said this before we got on the air. I looked at all the pictures. When I saw the pictures, I was like, "Fuck! Thank God I'm not there." But you said it was fun. You said it was a great time. Danko was there. Our Lady Peace was there. Missed those guys. Talked to them over the last couple of days. They definitely
My
didn't
Mother
think
Earth was fucking great.
Stellar. Yeah, they're a great fucking
yeah,
live
okay,
band. But how was it?
Do you know who plays bass in I Mother Earth? It's Chuck from the Salads.
Oh, you're kidding?
Really?
Chuck,
I like
Chuck
the
Daly.
I know
from the Salads
Jag
is
and
now the
Edwin.
bass player.
Edwin and Jag are back together again.
Yeah, it
which
wouldn't
is
be I Mother Earth without those guys.
No, they tried the Brian thing was okay. It fell flat for me. Okay, so the first one I went to was the 5440 show with the Trues a couple of weekends ago, and then I went to this one on Sunday, and it's different. And I will say that it's at first I was like, this is weird, because you're at a table. What they did was they tried to make a concert experience COVID friendly. Right. So they got everything spaced out. They got this huge it's the old racetrack, and it's in the middle of the racetrack. So they got a ton of room. They got a massive stage, and they got these 8-foot tables. They're selling the tables six seats table, right? And then you can't go to a beer gardens, and you can't actually get merch. And the first couple of shows, they made people bring food to the you had to order food to your table as well. They've since given up on that, and they've had the food trucks in the back, way in the back, and they've got everything spaced out in the back. Mm-hmm. And you bring your own chair, you bring your lawn chair, and you got a lot of room, and it's different, but I really like it. And I think that it might not necessarily be the proper setting for, a punk rock show or something like that, but some bands, I think, and some venues may move forward with this as a template. So there's a QR code on the table, and you punch in your credit card information, you can order drinks right to the table. And they've got like 20, 30 guys delivering drinks to the tables. You order your merch, you go online, you can have your t-shirt delivered to you. They try to encourage people to stay in their sections, right? They're trying to make it as COVID friendly as possible. And you know what? The one thing I think is going to be sort of the tipping point is how the bands like it. Because if you're up there and you're Danko Jones and you're playing to, I don't know, 1,000 people, and they're all sitting at fucking white tables, it might be, I don't know how you would respond to that as a performer. But I know that it's very popular. I know that people are calling. They wanted to win the tickets. We were giving away tickets, and I know that the promoter, I've talked to him a couple of times, they will probably continue this type of thing moving
this way
forward.
Of seeing a show. Yeah, the same way.
Yes.
This is a kind of a picture of it. This is I think this is from out east. I'm not too sure, but this is the same model, right? Where is that Edmonton? Is it?
That
okay,
is
so
Edmonton.
This is together again. This is tables. They put tables out. You bring your own chair to sit at your own table, and only the people that you bought tickets with are entitled to be that table. So 6 per table, same household or what? Or does everybody have to be vaccinated?
There was no mandatory vaccinations, but they were hoping that people would, bring cohorts with them, right? And in most situations, people are like going with work groups or whatever. They're all throwing in whatever it costs for a table and heading out, or family would get them. I mean, I saw lots of people that I know that are regular concert goers, and they fucking loved it. Yeah. So
if you described it as, and if it went as described, which you did, it sounds like what they tried to do is minimize all kinds of contact between the people that were actually working there and the people who were attending the show, and of course the bands, right? Like, it sounds like they didn't want people moving around. They tried to keep people in one place, which is nice. Like, you're trying to keep people distant, keep them in certain cohorts and certain households. Here's the question: did you have to be vaccinated to go to that show?
No, you did not. And again, that's Alberta rules, right? A lot of organizations are now, like, we just found out today that the Edmonton Elks, the football team, formerly the Edmonton Eskimos, are going to be requiring vaccination passports as of October. And then the Oilers this season, you won't be able to get into Rogers Place unless you're vaccinated or you have a negative COVID test, right? So yeah, and again, the staff at this thing were all wearing masks, and all the staff were double vaxxed. They wouldn't hire anybody unless they were double vaxxed. I know that because I talked to the guys from Trickstar, and the people that came. It was clear people were moving around. They were going to the bathrooms. There's a smoking section way in the back. There was, the food trucks were in one section of the grounds, and there's people walking towards those. But it is, and Wade's right. It's. I think they're going to get recognized for it, and they did spend a lot of time on the phone with other promoters and sharing ideas, trying to figure out how to make this work in this sort of fucked up environment. And they're made money, man. They're doing okay. And we got a bunch of shows this summer. Like, yeah, have they all been like that though? Yeah, every single one. Same template.
You know what? It's funny because I looked
Comedy
at it, Jamesy. I want your thoughts, and I just wanted to kind of
no, go ahead.
butt in for a second here, but like I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, that's kind of more my speed. Like seeing those tables, knowing that you've got a place to put something down, knowing that you've got a place to like put your purse if you're a lady or put your beer if you're a dude. You're not banging into people next to you. I'm sure there were people at the end of the concert that got a little closer, but big fucking deal, right? Like, and if those are the guidelines that Alberta's running by, I'm not even pissed that unvaccinated people were allowed in the show. Like, I think that as long as that is set up the way it is, obviously you don't want to take any chances if you're fully vaccinated, but what is it? 98.4% of people in ICU are not vaccinated. So if you're fully vaccinated and you want to go to a show, I think that as you've explained it is a really cool way to do it because it caters to kind of the hermit in me. James, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that also it caters to our age group, right?
Yeah.
Like when I remember I went to see a Rage Against the Machine show. They played with Cypress Hill and House of Pain in like 1993 or something, and I remember being impressed on how it was run, but also I just wanted to see Rage give a political speech, and now they're doing Coachella with the vaccine mandatory kind of thing. So they used to be the protest group. And I just think but beyond that, it's just neat to see that, between the ages of like 42 and 55 or something like that, there's a lot of bands that we would still kind of support once a year to go and just like have a good time. And I think this is like a good business model that is like a COVID inspired situation.
Well,
yeah.
And
does that make sense?
for me,
That's a great point. Yeah, for sure.
For me, and again, I think you're right. I think it does actually cater to my age. Like, I don't want a fucking mosh pit anymore. I like the idea of a table, and you have 4, 5, 6 people, and if there was anybody that was unvaccinated there, it's outdoors, and I was taking ivermectin all weekend long to protect myself from the unvaxxed, right? I've got
5 out of 5.
explosive diarrhea, and my ear is leaking blood. But I don't think I'm going to get huge.
Yeah. Congratulations. At least you had something to eat. You put that paste on a cracker, you're good. When it comes to the concert experience, obviously different here in Canada. The United States is wide open. Eye on America. Darren Pfeiffer from the Dangerous Darren podcast joins us at Darren99 on Twitter. Darren, you played some punk rock shows this weekend. Where were you, and what was the whole scene like? Was it weird for you? Were people wearing masks? What's the vaccine situation? Take me through it, friend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Huntington Beach, California, which is just in Orange County, California. And then we went down to San Diego and then shot a little bit east into Phoenix, Arizona. A bang, 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 right. 3 shows. It was a lot of fun. All the shows were almost sold out, and it was just an incredible vibe. But once you leave the safety and sanctuary of the sanity of Los Angeles County, you're on your own. Mm-hmm. You go down to Orange County, and it's fully anti-vax. The people there think this whole thing's a hoax. Everybody in the bar is not wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask as much as I can to avoid people and not, fist bump people and not shake hands. All the singers came up and shared the same mic, which is ridiculous, and all 3 shows. And then once you get into Arizona, I mean, I didn't see a mask in sight, not at a gas station, not at a hotel, not at the grocery store, nowhere. In the venue, no one had a mask on. It was full, the wild, wild west. And it was kind of disheartening to see, kind of sad that people aren't taking this new Delta variant serious at all.
Wow. So you're playing shows and no one in the joint has a mask on but you, is that correct? Or did you unmask and go, fuck, I'm vaccinated, I'll roll the dice? Because that's what I'm interested in, right? Like, at some point, both sides are going to kind of have to meet if we're going to get back to life. And obviously that number on the other side's going down, our side's going up, and we're going to have to fucking live with this for the rest of our lives. And so I'm interested in the mental perspective of someone in that space, right? Like, you're playing a show. Are you freaked out?
No, I mean, I'm on the drums and I'm in the back, and the stage is, separated from the audience. They're in front of us, but they're not right in front of us. And we had a backstage area, so we didn't really interact with the crowd too much. So I wore a mask as much as I could for load in and load out, or when I'm walking around the venue to find a promoter to get paid or whatever. But I wore it as much as I possibly could, but it wasn't 100%. And I feel okay because I'm double vaxxed. I'm fine. I don't have any symptoms as of yet. But it's just, you go to these other places of the world and they just look at it like, oh yeah, that COVID thing, that was a thing in 2020. That's over now, right? It's like, well, no, it's not. You know, you should probably look at the news, pay attention.
Yeah, that's kind of the interesting part to me is that, you know, we're kind of splitting the difference now. Obviously, you know, the difference between us coming back this fall and everything trying to get back to normal are vaccines, right? Like, you know, vaccines are here, most of us are vaccinated and all that shit. And so my temperature has come down significantly over the past couple of days for a number of reasons. One is I'm watching people that I trust go into situations that a little dicey, right? Like playing a bar show indoors in Arizona where, you know, the governor of Arizona doesn't give two fucks about the COVID. Same thing with Alberta. Locke, you're in Alberta. The government of Alberta doesn't really give a shit about COVID.
I want to say this out loud, and I get it. And I think we have to be concerned about the rise in the numbers of the variant and all that. But the restrictions were lifted, and we were told they would be lifted if we maintain certain numbers. And we have maintained certain numbers. The infection rate continues to climb in Alberta, but the ICU numbers are fluctuating around the same level that they said they were comfortable with based on the current levels of restrictions. As soon as the ICU numbers get to a point, and again, I think that's fair, and I think it's worth saying out loud that the Alberta government is that's what they were looking at, and they're watching it, and they've said if it starts to get out of hand, they're going to start fucking implementing things again. And the public sector, I think, is going to step up now. You're in between a rock and a hard place. It doesn't matter what the fucking government does. People are going to be pissed one way or the other. Right. And I think they're throwing their hands up. I honestly do. I can't say anybody's told me about how these conversations are going behind the scenes, but I'm telling you right now, I think Kenny and politicians as a whole are at a loss as to what to fucking do, because they can't do the right thing no matter what. You got provinces that are completely shut down and are like, the streets are fucking like there's tumbleweeds going through the streets, and they're criticizing their governments. And then you got Alberta, which is wide open. They're being fucking criticized. You can't fucking win. And I don't know what the answer is. And the longer this goes on, the more and more I am of the mindset that Kenny did this. He said, listen, as long as the ICUs are still not completely flooded, we gave everybody an opportunity to get vaccinated. Fuck the rest. I swear to God he said that. And he may have not used that terminology, but I think that's where his mindset is at. And you can tell when he's in front of the media, he's frustrated. And he's got a point. Everything you hear is it's constantly, we do it. It's constant. Boom, boom, boom. This, these numbers, da. No one's fucking has a clue what to do. And it is in a way kind of fear mongering. I don't blame him.
Is it not giving, like, in case in point, this weekend, we've seen so many with the election in full swing when we're halfway through. Some of the polling numbers are fucking hilarious if you believe polls. And we'll go to James in just a second for some details because he's way smarter than all of us when it comes to this. If you believe certain polls, the Conservatives are ahead by up to from 2 to 10 points. These are the biggest swingers. Nanos, which is traditionally liberal, Main Street Research, which is traditionally conservative. Obviously, they've got some bullshit numbers, but those numbers all bear out across the board, which is, that the conservatives who have got an anti-mandate perspective are winning this election, right? They're winning at the polls right now, and lots can change. We haven't had debates, all that other shit. But you know what has amazed me is, and I said this, if you thought fucking people were pissed off before about the vaccine mandate, watch what happens when the mandate actually comes in and people are going to be forced to either get vaccinated or not go to a movie theater because they're not allowed in. What's happening is this. I'm going to play a couple of clips. This is from the sidewalk in the entertainment district this week. This is a woman, and like anti-vaxxers, the rise of female anti-vaxxers with male pattern baldness and like 70 extra pounds is here. We're here now.
Common thread.
We're here. We're like, if you want to profile the female anti-vaxxer, this is exact. And I've got 3 videos to play for you. 3 things that they all have in common: massive fucking foreheads, male pattern baldness, and they look like an overdone sausage, as my dad would say. 10 pounds of shit shoved in a 5-pound bag. Have a look.
That's how bad I am. Oh yeah. Anybody comes to my knocking on my door, first of all, there'll be a no trespassing sign.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If anybody comes to my door for the, here, you gotta take the jab.
I'm with you guys.
Oh man, I'm gonna shoot. I will shoot. I will shoot. Oh, I will jab. I have this really, it's like a rounded knife with a point on. I'll fucking jab. I'll jab. They come to me. I'll jab. I'll protect myself from the poison vax by jabbing. It's self-defense, right? I'll shoot them. It's self-defense. I don't want to die.
That really happened. That's Karima's video, who we work with. She took that this weekend. That wasn't the only fucking issue that we had on the campaign trail, by the way. Just
we all
so
agree
you know.
that she's mentally ill, that woman, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it.
I think
those are anti-vaxxers.
Some of the locked up crowds
maybe we should start looking at anti-vaxxers as mentally ill. And maybe that way we can what do we normally do with mentally ill people? Well, we try to help them through their trouble, right?
Yeah, by putting them in sanitariums. But once again, here's another anti-vaxxer at a school board meeting. Note her size and her massive fucking forehead.
If you guys can't figure out by now the science is ridiculous, then you're probably driving around in your car with a mask on by yourself, and I can't help you at this point, nor do I want to. It's not my job. I appreciate what you want to do for you and your family. I would appreciate it if you respected what I did for me and my family, because that's where we live. The United States of America. God bless America. The end.
Thank you.
You know why I love these videos, Dean? You know why I love these
channeling
videos?
Roseanne. You can feel it.
Well,
why is that, Darren?
Dean's right. These and James is right. They're mentally insane, mentally unstable. They're the big forehead and the male pattern baldness are evident. And yeah, they're about 70 to 80 pounds
Why
overweight.
is that a thing?
Now you can't.
I'm telling you, the
I
baldness on these chicks is like a fucking common thread. Every single
crazy.
anti-vaxxer chick is going bald. They don't have a forehead; they've got like a 9 head. Sorry, Darren, go ahead.
I wonder if it affects their brain power or their mental capacity with this male pattern baldness that women are. But at any rate, the proof is in the pudding. No pun intended. These women are out of their fucking gourds, and you're seeing the Karen videos. You're seeing them at city councils and town councils, like this woman saying "God bless America" and then mask this and
that woman wasn't mentally ill.
Why? You know what?
The second one wasn't. The first one was.
Yeah, no, she was slightly mentally
The first
ill.
one was. The second
And
one
I love these
is
videos.
dancing on it, though.
I'll tell you why.
Why is that, Darren?
Because these videos get put out, and in shows like the Dean Blundell show and other social media platforms and other podcasts and radio shows, if you will, put them out there and make these people stars, but for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Because most people, 90, maybe 80%, go, that person's a fucking mental case. What the hell's wrong with you? You're going to go on a mic and spout all this garbage and all this bullshit, and then you think the world's going to go, good for you. You're amazing. God bless America. Yeah.
I'm rallying behind her. Yeah,
I'm
with the chick.
You're fucked. You're super.
I'm with the chick that looks like she's got male pattern baldness and 12 pounds of shit shoved in a 5-pound bag. I'm with her. She seems to know what she's talking about. Case in point. Once again, notice the size, notice the forehead, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm here for the children.
Oh God.
There is zero
she's
evidence
wearing a
that
sign.
COVID-19 exists in the world. PCR tests are recalled. This is a pandemic. Fake virus, bioweapon jab.
Her blood type is corn oil.
You will not experiment on my children.
Yeah,
always
her
been
blood
about
type
the
is
children.
Crisco.
We know you're coming for the children. We will not comply.
No.
We'll answer to God.
Oh, you found out. We're coming for the children.
People are waking up.
She broke her leg and
Nothing
gravy
can
poured
stop
on
what is coming. You vote yes, you will all be tried for crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
Crimes
Children
against
don't
humanity.
disappear. 800,000 children in the United States disappear.
800,000 calories is what you take in a day.
Her spit tastes like
800,000
pork
calories.
rinds.
What is she talking about the
800,000
kids?
calories.
What is she talking about the
A
kids
calorie
disappearing?
intake.
What is that? Is that the
it's
QAnon?
QAnon? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You cannot
The
stop us.
raping and pizzas and pizza
You cannot
rape
stop
and
us
raping
from
on a
eating at
pizza.
Arby's. We will eat at
Yeah.
Arby's once a day. You will not
Listen,
stop us.
enough with the Arby's shame. Okay.
Her breast milk is condensed.
If we get an Arby's, if we get an Arby's sponsor, I get to eat all week for free. So stop it.
All right, you're right. Arby's is delicious.
Yeah.
They
Arby's
have the
is a
meats.
wonderful meal.
They have
Yeah,
the
they do
meats.
have the meats. Yeah, and the cheddars. But it's only like if I've noticed, because I've been trying to profile these weirdos, right?
You're
And if
doing a
I've
great
noticed-
job today. It's been a strong pattern.
Thank you.
The
Thank you very
funny
much.
thing is Dean didn't spend a lot of time doing this. He just
No,
that
only
was
the
about-
whole weekend. Only the whole weekend on my phone going, yeah, save.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
You know
Every
what,
single
Oldie?
one of these chicks is like 80 pounds overweight and she's balding. This is incredible.
What do these women, and in some cases men, these Looney Tunes, what do they think's going to happen when they spout their garbage on these city councils? People are going to go, hey, maybe we should get rid of masks. And yeah, you know what? It is a pandemic.
Who cares?
Darren, I
Who cares?
honestly think that they have this sort of internal belief that they have to. It's in their right, and they have to get the word out, or we're all doomed. I truly believe that a lot of them actually think that way.
Think
right?
they're doing it for us? You think they're doing it for us? Yeah.
They're doing it
thanks.
for. Yeah.
They're just as
Thanks,
sure
I'm
of
good.
it as we're sure that 2 + 2 is 4. That's how sure they are. So when you start to look at it from that perspective, you're like, shit. How do I penetrate that?
No, you can't. Speaking of penetration, not
Would
something
you
you want to do
wanna
with any of
penetrate
those
that,
ladies.
James?
No, I don't think you would. No,
Um,
James might.
Hey, hold on.
I'm good.
Hold
I
on.
was in Portugal.
That's where I draw the line. The big girls need love too. You guys, honestly.
Yeah, no, you know what, Locke, you're absolutely right. The big girls do need love, but they got to pay.
they throw fish.
Yeah, well, they will with their lives.
They got some greenbacks.
I was some American Dough. I like it. I was equally struck by the profile of the male anti-vaxxer over the weekend. Did anybody see them following? These are the same people following Justin Trudeau, the prime minister of the country, around with signs saying, "Let's hang the prick." Like, it's fucking crazy. But some of the things that came out this weekend, and I want you to look specifically at the feet of these male anti-vaxxers, and then we'll go for there. Listen to this guy carve like a 3-year-old kid, 3 years old, wearing a mask out in public. A little overdone, but whatever. You don't get in a parent's way. But watch. Yeah, you'd have fucking punched this guy out. Watch this.
Let that kid breathe fresh air. That's the sickest thing I can ever see someone ever do. Sick. You wouldn't do that 2 years ago to your kid, would you? When SARS was around, did you do that to him? Doesn't matter, but you're still gonna make a kid do that? You're about to stick your hand around his mouth all day. That is sickening. You want to see something for me?
See that?
Where the fuck is the kid's father?
Great question. Didn't do jack shit. That wasn't.
What do
Did
you
you
do,
notice
though?
the feet?
Right? Like,
Did you notice the feet? Did you notice the shoes? Right, the work boots.
Oh, the
Okay.
steel toes.
Yeah, we got the steel toe boots here. If you notice those, I'm
just gonna say that guy wasn't that the guy that hired the prostitute at that house like last summer? Remember the construction crew?
Oh yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah,
That was fucking awesome.
What's the guy
So-
doing there with this kid though? Like, go home.
Well,
Like,
that's another question.
yeah.
First of all, the kid shouldn't have a mask in public because he's 3, and no one said nowhere it says that you should be putting a 3-year-old in a mask in public. So that the dad is just this like meek little never had sex on top kind of guy, so he doesn't stand up for his own fucking kid. You know what I mean?
Well, that wasn't.
I don't know.
I mean, that wasn't an isolated incident.
On that. The only thing I blame that dad for is taking him to that event. Like, why are you there? Like, go.
Let's go stand up for everybody else.
Go get some
fucking stay
Timbits.
home.
Is that all the event was? Was a rally? It was some sort of protest?
That was a rally. That was a rally in Nobleton. The prime minister was at, canceled it right after he saw all these people going nuts. So he had nothing going on. He took a dump in the polls. That's why he's behind. One of the many reasons why he's behind. Also, calling an election during a fucking pandemic is a good reason. But case in point, again, we noticed work boots on that anti-vaxxer. This is in Cambridge yesterday. This is not a fucking instant replay. And there's some terrible racist language in this clip I'm going to play. And by no means do we condone it, but I want to play this so you can get a real fucking glimpse of what this fucking movement of people who don't care about your health or your freedom are all about. Watch this.
Oh yeah? Bring the man past that fire hose that still sitting there fucking fucking lying.
Yeah, the N-word, always a go-to for these guys.
Wow.
Once
Jesus
again,
Christ.
did you notice the work boots on that fella?
We have a guy here asking
this
about
is
the irony of the work boot being lost on him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out because someone noticed that all these anti-vaxxers had drywall work boots on, like the steel-toed work boots, almost the exact same ones. And I'm like, well, these guys probably pick up labor work. That makes sense to me.
They could be painters too. A lot of fumes.
could
I mean,
be.
Landscapers.
They could be painters.
Yeah.
Why would you wear steel-toe boots when you paint?
I don't even know why you'd wear them to a protest. I mean, you'd want to wear something fairly comfortable to a protest,
Because
like
he
some,
just came
some
from a work
runners or
site,
some
Dean.
Birkenstocks, I guess.
He just came from a work
Crocs.
site, making a condo, and now he wanted to go make his voice heard.
Just in case violence broke out, he wanted to make sure he had the shit kickers on. That's probably what it was.
Probably.
You know?
Probably. But Locke,
you know
why
why?
does this bother you? Because you sent me a note when we were kind of going back and forth. You're like, this is a problem for me. And which I'm shocked because I find it somewhat entertaining, even though it's absolutely fucking deplorable.
The thing that I am very concerned about is the ammunition that this is providing the Liberal government for virtue signaling. Right? Like as soon as he saw that the protests on Friday, he couldn't find a mic or a press release fast enough to talk about how he had to cancel the rest of his plans for Saturday. And it's and all this is doing is it's just giving him a stronger foothold on the position he was going to have before, but it's bringing more attention to him. So these crazies that are screaming at his and I'm not listen, he should be looking at this as why does everybody hate me so much? Right. But he's not going to. He's going to use it as ammunition for the campaign, and it might work with some people. Right, because this is hard. This is hard shit to watch, and this is exactly This is exactly what he wants to, because I'm kind of excited about where the polls are at. I'm kind of excited about the possibility that we might not have to deal with him for another 4 years, and this is not helping. You have the right to protest, but they're taking it too far. Like,
I think you're mostly. Sorry. I used to agree with exactly what you said like 5 days ago. And now I think it's possible that we have sort of like we're on the other side of a mini tipping point where the mega type culture is actually helping the conservative candidate.
Are they?
I think so. And it's
Why?
because energy, right? So if Aaron O'Toole can be successful keeping the moderates happy in his party for during the election, he knows that the other side only can vote for PPC, and that everyone knows that PPC probably will not get 2 seats. So it's all these like different strategies that are playing out at once. And I think that when I'm looking at that, I'm embarrassed to be a Canadian when I see all those guys like that guy calling him a fucking commie when he took a selfie. Like, it was dishonest. It had no end game. It had no journalistic quality. It has nothing. Like, it was just like fucker in the pussy kind of shit. And I was like, oh shit, that's going to play right into your stand. I thought the exact same thing, but I don't think that anymore because I think that everyone is so upset at the fact that he called a snap election during a pandemic that people are willing to look away from things that would normally bother them and their sense of etiquette.
All right.
I think that is a fucking unbelievably good point. And I think it's an underrated point. And we glossed over it and we're triggered by it and let it go. But this is his doing, right? Like, he created this environment in a number of ways. And I'm talking about he being the prime minister of this country. He created this environment by not being honest and not being transparent and not doing the things he said he'd do, whether it was with vaccine procurement at the start of the whole thing, or whether it's Indigenous people, or whether it's lip service for a million different things. If you didn't like him before, you fucking hated him now, right? So add on top of that the fact that, you know, he had a bunch of center left people riding with him through this thing because we wanted to get through it. We didn't want to have to stop in the middle of being broke, being depressed, being sad, drinking more than we ever have, dealing with our kids not going to school, worrying about their health, worrying about our health. And he just decided to fucking insert a $600 million taxpayer-funded federal election into our day.
He never explained
no-brainer
what
to
his
me.
reason was. He never explained it. We all think it was because he wanted a majority, but he never actually got in front of a microphone.
He can't explain.
But I know,
There's
but
no
that's
good
why the
explanation,
polls are moving the way they're moving, though. It's a one issue campaign for a lot of people, and that was the issue. So it's already over for a lot of people because of that. It's like, he called the fucking election during a pandemic. There's no good reason. That's why we're here. Okay. Well, then I'm not voting for him.
What I'm worried about, though,
you shouldn't trust the polls, really, because I'm Polish. I'm a Pole. Don't trust me. Okay? So don't trust the polls.
P-O-L-L, two L's.
Yeah. When I
You
watch,
know why Polish people can't commit suicide?
Here we go.
No, here we go.
Because you can't die when you jump out of a basement apartment window.
Okay.
I'm going to give that a 1.
A Polak. I'm allowed to say shit, I think.
All right.
Okay, I'm a Polak. And I'm fucking offended, asshole.
Oh.
So I think I'm Polish too, but that's a whole other story. Okay, so I like hearing other people's opinions on these things because I worry about James. I worry about that undecided vote. Like, I worry about the guy that's sitting there going, you know what? Trudeau does have better hair than Aaron. And do I want to be aligned with the guy that clearly is going to vote for the Conservatives wearing the drywall boots, right? Like, that's where my mind is at when I see videos like that. And when I see everyone apologizing and on press conferences talking about, you know, we just listen, what happened on Saturday can't happen. Justin, he's not worried about himself. He's worried about the people that want to come out and see him speak and their safety. It's just like, oh my God.
Dean, what's that T-shirt that guy's wearing? His blue T-shirt. What does that say on it?
Fuck Trudeau?
I think it's a Pokemon.
I think it is too. Yeah, I think he loves the Pokemon stuff. He looks like he just finished doing some serious like taping and plastering at someone's house. That's what he looks like he finished. And I take nothing away from people who like to tape in mud. But generally speaking, most of the people that you see that are involved in this movement have that taper and mutter kind of mentality, right? It's just weird.
Go back to the picture.
He's not dirty enough. I think what he was doing was he was taking his wife's TV back to her.
Look at the guy to the left. Leather vest.
Because she's like, Jerry,
no problem.
I fucking told you I want the big screen. You can have your mom's TV.
Okay.
The one in your bedroom can stay there. I told you, bring me the fucking big screen or you're not going to see your kids. That's what he did.
And holding the kids hostage over a TV. Very
I want to
cool.
watch Pioneer Woman every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah. So James, what the fuck is going on? Because you're tuned into the polls, and I mean, I look at Canada polling because the dude is like independent, right? You got 38 versus 29 for O'Toole, who's CPC, and Trudeau, who's 29. That's today. It's 4 hours ago. Like, this is the most recent polling. And every poll basically says the same, but then it comes down to this little chyron, if you will. People just still trust that Trudeau would be a better leader than
that's what I'm concerned
O'Toole.
about.
Yeah, there's a
so
bunch
what
of,
is happening?
Well, there's a bunch of things. I don't know the polling thing. Like, let's take the polls at face value. The movement, I think, is again, just because he called the election. I think that probably the thing that's misleading about the polls, the only thing that I can see is that I bet you that even at like a 6% difference, I bet you the Liberals would still win seats because they have more of an urban voting core, and whereas the Conservatives have suburban and rural. So I think that like you could see something like the Conservatives having like 30%, but the Liberals and the Conservatives would be 89. Like it could end up like that. And I think that what you're seeing, one of the things to Lachlan's point was that on one you have Trudeau virtue signaling, on the other side you have the guy in the steel toes, but it's not Aaron O'Toole in the steel toes like it is Trudeau virtue signaling, and I think that is a big difference.
That's a good point
as well.
Yeah, no, that's good, and I'm hanging on any amount of hope here. I was gonna throw a protest vote out. I was well on my way to another.
What's your hope for?
Well,
What's
my
your
hope is
that Trudeau doesn't win.
Yeah, and that they're actually that my vote for the Conservatives, which I'm not thrilled about. I'm not going to celebrate that vote when I hit that. When I hit that the polls at the end of the month here. But I honestly, I'm going to make sure that I try to vote so that it counts, as opposed to trying to find some wingnut like the Donkey fucking Party or something. Just to be a dick.
Ready to go.
The Democrats.
Are you mailing? You're mailing in? Hey?
No. This is my ballot for the recall election of Governor Gavin Newsom in the state of California. Which I'm going to vote no. I don't want him recalled. I think he's doing a great job.
Do you really? A lot of people hate him.
They do hate him,
but that's the power.
But you look at California, and California is very similar to Canada. You have your major cities, and then you got this junk in the middle. Sorry, Locke. You got your Chicago, you got your New York, you got your LA.
That's okay. We're propping up the country financially, so I'll deal with it.
California is the same way. California is San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, the major cities where most people are enlightened and they live. But the rest of California are people that are farmers and they're rednecks and they drive trucks and they wear steel-toe boots and they plaster in mud. And they're like, they fucking hate the guy, and they love Trump, and they hate Gavin Newsom. And they're like, oh, we can get a Republican as our governor? Yeah, let's get rid of Newsom. Well, why do you want to get rid of Newsom? Because he's a Democrat.
Because he's a criminal.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, that might be why the recall's happening. Isn't there major legal?
The Republicans don't like the fact that he was caught in a restaurant without a mask like several months ago during the height of the pandemic in 2020. They don't think he should be extending his supreme powers or emergency powers to pull certain legislation ropes during this pandemic that he hasn't relinquished when he said he would. He's keep going on.
I thought there was some legal issues too. I thought there was something financially. I don't think he has any legal
issues. Not that I've heard of. No, the Republicans are just butthurt. That's all.
Okay.
They just don't like the fact that he's putting these mask mandates in place, and the Republican leading guy in charge says, once I get in there, day one, masks are gone. So we're going to turn. If the Republicans win, we'll turn into Florida. Or Texas or Louisiana.
You know what's crazy to me? I'll tell you what's crazy to me. And I put up a tweet today because I meant this. Like, I'm so fucking tired of people that make major decisions like who's going to govern our country with what's in their fucking social media bio. I said pro tip number 2 because I already had another pro tip this morning. So this is the second pro tip I put up. If you have right/left or lib/con in your bio, you're a fucking idiot who can't think for themselves. In the States, it's like, it's militant, right? Like those are, you're a Democrat or you're Republican. In Canada, you're either a socialist, NDP. You're a lib or liberal, Trudeau, or you're a
Libtard is what I
con.
get called all the time.
Libtard, you libtard.
Yeah.
And I know you're the most conservative guy on this fucking panel.
I know, but you can't make any comments in the middle, or you're one or the other, right? Like, yeah.
No, and I've come to this conclusion, Jamesy. I could be wrong, but I think you stand this way too. If you identify as any one of those things when you meet people, lib, con, right, left, you're the worst fucking person on the planet.
Yeah.
You're the dumbest person on the planet. You are a sheep. Like, you want to talk sheep? Identifying your entire existence according to a political party because of one guy that you might like, that's sheep to me. You guys are the fucking worst. As a matter of fact, the world would be a fucking significantly better place if you weren't allowed to operate, if you were kicked off Twitter, kicked off social media, and you were told that you're not allowed to fucking vote. Because there's a huge portion, I would say 70% of this country has this concept in our heads, which is like, okay, I'm going to find virtue and character, and that's where my vote's going to be. Some guys that you vote for might not be doing everything you like. They might not meet all the parts of your narrative of which you want to put your vote, but that doesn't really fucking matter. Like, I'm watching these people campaign for my vote, right? I'm watching Jagmeet. A lot of the stuff Jagmeet has said so far has resonated with me. I'm watching Aaron O'Toole.
You're a
act
communist.
like a normal human being on the fucking trail. Like, he's actually left the fear-mongering behind. And I'm smart enough to be able to say, okay, I don't identify as conservative, but I can appreciate the effort that cat's put into getting where he is, and that's probably why he's ahead, and I can identify those things. Trudeau, if someone said to me, why don't you like him? I'm like, he's a fucking fraud. Would he be the safest bet for prime minister? Maybe, maybe not. But I have no attachment to the outcome of this election. Zero. I don't give a fuck who the next prime minister of this country is, because my job as a fucking human being is going to be exactly the same no matter who it is that's in office.
How can you say that when you hate Justin Trudeau? You want him out, so you do care who wins.
No, I don't. I don't want Justin Trudeau to be the prime minister of this country. I don't want Aaron O'Toole to be the prime minister of this country.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want Jagmeet. Yeah, but it's going to happen. One of those three guys is going to be the next prime minister of the country, probably one of two. And there is going to be a minority government. So, feet to the fire, I don't really give a fuck. In that time, I'm going to refine how I feel about politics. I'm going to refine about who I vote for. That's what we should be doing. If you're fucking one of those assholes, like there's this, oh, fuck, I got to put this up for you. She blocked me as soon as I said this, but whatever, who cares? This was my entire fucking impetus for that tweet. Do it. This woman named Laura Rosen Cohen says, attention Ontario residents, if you would disagree with the Ford Nation plan for vax passports, call the Premier's office today. Gives the number. They are taking calls, and here's counting the complaints in volume. Don't let Ford get away with this. This is about his vaccine no vaccine passport. So I just tweeted, attention Ontario residents, this chick's a selfish asshole. Get vaccinated. That's
I don't understand why.
I applaud that. That's great. Awesome, Dean. Well done. Nice following.
But that's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. That doesn't make any sense. That's not the greater good. None of these guys are interested in that.
You know,
so
Dean,
fuck off with your left-right shit. I hate you.
You talked about polarization, and in America, it's different than Canada. Let me explain. Give me a second. With Justin Trudeau, you don't like his politics. You don't like the way the country's being run over the last several years under his leadership. That's fine. That's fine. But Justin Trudeau, you can give him a little bit of credit. He is a career politician. He's been doing it a long time. He's got years of civil service before he became prime minister. Where in America, Donald Trump was a clown. A fucking clown, a con man.
Right. Now you can't even compare anybody to Trump, though.
No, correct. But here's the thing: what Dean mentioned earlier in his last comment. When I meet someone and they're left, right, or center, I don't give a shit. When I meet someone and they go, "I voted for Trump," I immediately lose interest in talking to that person, and I immediately lose respect. Like me and my brother
that would be
anything.
That would be similar in this election, because I think Trudeau is getting up to
we're getting there.
That Trump effect, right?
Like, I disagree with you completely. You cannot compare Justin Trudeau to Donald Trump. It is apples.
Well, hold it though. You're not here, and I got to agree with Jamesy. Like, I get what you're saying. I totally get the same effect, but I mean, Trudeau's no fucking Trump. I mean,
Darren, you're not feeling the divisiveness. I agree with you. You can't compare the two. To me, and I can't stand Justin Trudeau, but you cannot compare the idiocy of what the United States just went through with that fucking moron compared to Justin Trudeau. It's not
maybe
even in the same
maybe I misunderstood
field.
what Darren said, because it feels like I thought what he said was that, you would have to have the same respect for a Trudeau voter as a Trump voter or whatever. And they're not the same type of idiot.
No.
Trump is clearly a bigger idiot, like clearly.
Yeah.
But what I think is
charts
happening
bigger.
is that the detractors of Trudeau are starting to become as fucking, are you fucking kidding me? You're voting for Trudeau in a way that is getting to Trump-like detractor levels.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but you can't.
With that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I have a situation in my house with the girls, right? That we don't have one of those situations where we tell the girls how to vote. Like, I've met people that lived in the States that were like, "Oh yeah, no, I have to vote Republican. My dad would kill me. Like, he would hunt me down and he would fucking shoot me." And they're not kidding. Like, there's that. They're not lying. And we've never been like that. We have open conversations about politics, both my wife and I, and we try to, educate the girls as best we can. But I did say to them during the last election, I said, I will never tell you how to vote. Just if you vote Liberal, don't fucking tell me.
Now you're
If
going to
you
know.
vote Liberal, you're not welcome. If you vote Liberal, you're not welcome in this house, and I'll take you off the will. But I'm not telling you how to vote.
That's so funny.
I'm not paying your car bill.
You haven't said anything in about a week and a half since the election, daughter.
Tuition. I will not answer your calls or texts. I will want you to die, but you can vote any way you want. Any way you want.
My oldest, made a point of making sure she let me know she wasn't going to vote Liberal this time around.
Wait a second. DQ says, maybe lie to your dad about your vote if he's that nuts.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea.
Like, that's the thing. Is it like this election has not only opened my eyes to the people that I will never have anything to do with because they identify as left or right, but what it has also done, it has given me a great amount of fucking thankfulness for having the position that I have, which is severely, severely based on fact and kindness, right? Like, there's been, I can't tell you how many times.
Can we read that last tweet? Let's see how kind it was.
Yeah, absolutely. This one. Let me just make sure I got the right one.
Attention, Ontario. This chick is selfish asshole.
Yeah, get vaccinated. Yeah. That's as kind as I could be. That's as good as it gets.
It's polite as far as I can tell.
That's pretty polite,
dude. Stephen Guilbeault, you know the dude that like absolutely fucked up Bill C-10. He tweets out this 14 point thread on climate change. He's probably right. I just tweeted, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, no one listens to you anymore, dude. You can't even fucking get a bill through that says, "Hey, the internet's bad." Like, no one's gonna listen to you now, right? You're such a lying piece of shit.
There's nothing worse than a guy that wants to kill free speech and he's wordy. Fuck you. Like, you know?
James, you're on fire today.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, you're fucking killing it, dude.
I am sweating, but that's just the humidity in here. It's very
well.
humid.
Listen, it's hot out there with the giraffes.
Yeah,
true.
It is. It's really
I have a
hot.
marsupial shipment coming in later.
Wait till the alarm goes off and you have to go feed the kangaroos.
How's my volume? Is my volume better?
No, it's shit.
The kangaroos
no, people are complaining about it.
I'm looking at the meter. It's really high. I don't know what's going on.
There's a video that I saw today I wanted to bring to everybody's attention just to slow the conversation down from politics, because it's a little ornery today, or ornery, depending on where you're from. Ornery or ornery. My buddy Ro put this out, and I'm like, oh, I know this pain. I want you to watch this guy. Oh,
what happened there?
Let me just rewind this.
This is a Choda.
Yeah,
by the way, it is not a ball in.
You have to wait. This is what I'm trying. This is for women. I'm putting this out there for the ladies who think that this doesn't hurt.
So it's a
this
pressure
guy's
washer.
Getting ready. Got a pressure washer out. he goes to press the trigger, and when you press the trigger of a pressure washer, the actual hose snaps tight, right? Because the pressure's incredible in there. Watch the pressure washer come up and hit him in the nutsack. And then I want you to watch carefully the delayed onset nut pain. And I want to see if you guys can identify with this. The nut pain where you get hit in the nuts, you're like, that's not that bad. Oh my fucking God, I'm gonna die. This is what we have here. Bang.
Oh,
so here we go.
Okay,
watch
there we
this.
go.
He's thinking about it. He's like, I think it. Yeah, right in the nuts. I got to put this down. I got to bend over.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he's going to stand up.
That's where the nausea. That's where the nausea kicked in, right there.
Prostate injury.
That guy's kind of ripped.
Yeah, that's me in my
driveway too.
Yeah, really nice. But look at him. That little hose just touched his nuts, and he is done. He can't power wash like that.
He's having a bad day now.
Okay, so I'm 45, and I'm just learning today that there is a delayed nut pain. Because I've been hurt. First of all, I've had 3 operations on my junk, right? And second of all,
why are we just finding about this now?
I'm like drips and drabs. You can't give them all the details right away. You got to keep it going with something. We're going to be number 1. Woo! I don't know. But the idea that, every time I've ever gotten hit in the nuts, like kicked or playing football, and someone spiked me in the nuts once. I played baseball. I got tagged in the nuts. Like, it's happened a bunch of times. I don't ever remember the delay. I remember immediately turtling into like a horrible position. No. But I did get hit with a baseball bat in the choda once, and I was like, oh. And then my prostate, I guess, swelled a little or deflated. I don't know. And I was like, and I look like that guy. I looked exactly like that guy.
It's a delayed.
How do you take a shot from a baseball bat in that area, miss the nuts, and get the whole choda?
A guy was warming up. That was my rep baseball. Actually, a guy was warming up. He took 2 steps and wasn't looking and went boop, and actually he binked me right in the balls.
Wow. Okay.
Right in the choda. Right.
No, there is a delayed thing. So there's the automatic pain of the nut shot, but then there's this wave of it's a pressure thing, and the pressure causes like that. I as soon as he bent down, I went, oh, that's where he's starting to get nauseous. Like you get that overwhelming sense, and then you want to sit down. That's the other part of it, and then you get tired. Like I've had
the music sounds like the Cranberries. I don't know.
There's
in your head.
There's when you get shot. Like I've sat on this is why I don't bicycle anymore. But when I've sat on a nut, there's that overwhelming that blind pain, and then there's this sort of growing pain and wave of nausea is what I refer to it. Yeah. And it takes the wind out of you.
It's one of those things, and it crawls up your vas deferens too. Like when you get it in the nuts, you've got the tubes that go from your nutsack all the way up to your prostate. It's called the vas deferens. Pay attention, you'll learn something.
The only way I can describe it.
Your nuts kind of go like this. Ooh. And then they pass that pain on to the vas deferens. And that pain snakes its way up those tubes into your stomach. And all of a sudden, you want to fucking vomit. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. That's perfect right there.
Dean, have you
and then you start to sweat. And then you start to sweat. And the sweat kind of starts to bead up here and on your lip. And you're like, I don't want to puke. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And you have to, the only way to get rid of it, and I don't know if you're like, I've been hitting the nuts a few times really hard, and I've tried to literally pull them away from my body, get them as far away from me as I can, even though they're still attached, and it makes no sense. But I don't want anything to do with my balls after I get hit there, ever. It's like, what are you doing? Why do we have these things? And I know why we have those things, because I enjoy, washing them, taking care of them, sometimes shaving them. But what I don't enjoy is a light graze.
Reading to them, smoking marijuana with them.
Yeah.
See,
My
you played a fair
scrotum is
amount
now
of
a
hockey,
bong,
and I
everyone.
know, Locke, you played a fair amount of hockey as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a puck or a butt end of a stick in that area?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It's
that's why I'm surprised that James playing ball all those years. You might not have got a direct shot on a nut.
No,
you may
'cause I
have
had a
just got
cup,
that general
too.
area, right?
Because I had a cup too, but I did. I mean, I had Hydroseal, which was. And by the way, testicles, kind of snowflakes, aren't they? Like they're attached to
Yes.
physical males, and you can't even flick them. They start crying.
So
you start crying.
If testicles were able to vote, they would vote conservative.
Well, meanwhile, vaginas, according to the BBC, can take a lot of punishment, and we call them like another name for weakling.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah,
You know?
you're right. That's funny. That's true. Yeah, you can really abuse those things. Slap them around.
Emily gets it. She says, I've seen grown men crippled by someone else getting a needle. Yeah. That's true.
Men are we're wimps. We're all wimps, though.
But the man
You
cold
have
is
no
our
idea.
right. It's our right to be.
Do
sus
you guys
during-
know what really, really hurts as a drummer? This is a drummer-centric situation. But
Bass
when
players?
when you're playing drums, you cross over. Your sticks cross over. Your hands cross over with each other. Okay, and you do it in a way where it's time. Over years of playing, you time it where you don't actually hit your hand. But every now and again, rarely, I, and other drummers I've talked to will take the hi-hat stick, the right hand for me, and whack right here on my snare hand hard. Because I hit my hi-hat hard, and it's like whack right in the middle of a song, and you have no choice but to suck it up, be a man, and play through the pain, and it fucking hurts.
There is that thing now that I think of it that Dean brought up about you wanting to get your balls away from you,
Away from
grab,
you,
like
yeah.
the skin.
Well,
and
I
you
want
tug
these
it
balls
down.
away from me too. I'm just saying.
Oh, dude, yeah, you grab the skin, like the bag sack skin, and you pull it down because,
You're pulling
listen, ladies, if you're unaware, the testicular sac is incredibly pliable. Like I've literally turned it into a small awning for myself and my feet in the shower.
Well,
shoot, there we go. You can turn it into almost anything.
I've used it to cover a salad for a barbecue. I can, with a good seal, I can, like that potato salad's not going bad. I'll be able to.
I get it. Yeah. No flies in there at all.
Yeah.
Might be a hair.
I impersonated
get it a little bit, just get a little bit wet on the edges, and and you got a nice
I impersonated Walter Matthau with mine once. It was a great party.
I impersonated Ed Asner, who just passed away.
Yeah. One time I carried
Eddie
12 liters of
Grant.
water in my bag sack. I just went like this.
You did popular in Africa.
Carried it.
One time I gave a family of ducks a bath.
That was that old saying. You know, the mayor of the city in Toronto, his name's John Tory. He and I used to do these things called turd words all the time. So I'd send him a turd word. He'd send me a turd word. And he sent me one. He's like, have you heard of the bird bath? And I said, no. And then he just sent me the explanation for it. It's where you're in the shower and you manipulate your sack to turn it into like a half bowl. And you dab the tip of your hammer into it, and it looks like a bird having a bath.
That's so funny.
I'll be right back.
There's so many games you can play with your dick and
An
ball.
anteater eating termites.
You know what I do sometimes? If I'm going too fast and I'm worried about the brakes on the Subaru, I just let the sack out to catch wind to slow me down.
If you ever fall off a building, Lachlan.
Yeah. Take your pants off real quick. And
just let the sack out, and then you can just float
You're
down.
talking about driving, Locke. Have you guys ever driven your car?
Lachlan,
and
you're
also
never
like,
allowed
oh
to bring my
God.
son sailing. That's all I'm saying.
Have you ever driven your car and you're driving and you're sitting on your ball sack and you have to make an adjustment and your
Yeah.
wife goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like,
Sitting
you
on my
don't
ball
have
sack, I
balls.
have to make an
You
adjustment.
don't understand. And they're like, "It's rude." I'm like, "It's just us two. We're not entertaining anybody in my car."
That's
Like you're grabbing your junk and you're grabbing your stuff. I'm like, why do you care?
Yeah, my wife gave up on bringing up me touching myself a long, long time ago. I must do much more adjusting than you.
Speaking of testicles, did you guys see the Jake Paul Tyrone Woodley fight this weekend? Anybody? Anybody
hold
watch
on.
the Jake Paul scrap?
Stop promoting this fucking idiot.
I'm not promoting it.
If we stop talking about it, if we stop betting on it and stop getting the pay-per-views,
I don't
this
care
idiot
about
will
that.
go away.
I don't care about that. What I care about is what happened in the stands. The fight was shit. I watched it for free on a streaming site. I never pay for that shit, especially if two guys like that are fighting. Like, you want to see a retired guy fight a YouTube star? Oh, please, let me pay $60 for that.
People are, though. What are you doing?
Oh, they're
people?
fucking idiots.
If you paid $60 for this, there's something fucking wrong with you.
I would
have a conversation with somebody.
Well, I want to hear about it, but I would pay $60 to watch to get them to turn the camera around to the crowd, because the fights in the crowd were fucking unbelievable. There's like 7 fights in Cleveland. Everyone was drunk, and it was awesome. The best fight of the night was this fight. Watch this guy.
Looks like Justin Bieber.
Did you see that? Watch this fight. This is some dude mouthing off another dude. Everybody's drunk. This is what happens. But the great part about this fight, it's the best fight of the night, is this guy who gets punched first trying to find like what year it is to just get back into the fight.
Come on, bitch. Bang. Okay.
Watch him. Watch him. He's like, "Where's my purse? Where's my wallet? I can't get back in there." Look at, he pissed himself too. Bang. Oh, like,
did he really?
Yeah, he pissed himself. You can see those were the best fight. There was something like 130 arrests at that fight.
This is just ridiculous.
What the fuck is that?
That's why I didn't watch the fight, but that was it. That was the best part of the whole night, and it came across my Twitter feed. I didn't even get a chance to see it. But that was the dumbest fucking stuff I've ever seen in my life. The entire evening was ridiculous. Like, I watched a couple of the prelim fights. Then I watched the Jake Paul, Tyrone Woodley fight. And it's not even a real fucking fight. It's just a couple of guys that have agreed to huge paydays to run around for a little bit. So I have no interest in seeing it. This, however...
Did you watch the football fight, NFL football fight in Pittsburgh?
No. Why? Who fought?
Okay, am I the only one that thinks that guy looks like Justin Bieber? Seriously?
He does, with the hair, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is really bad fighting, by the way. This is not good fighting.
No, it's not good fighting.
No.
It's really bad fighting. In Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago, there was a woman mouthing off to some guy, and he's like getting in her face, and she's getting in his face, and she slapped him. And the guy was going to retaliate, but was like, no, I'm not going to hit a woman. And then the husband had no choice. He did not want to get involved because the guy was twice his size. So he had to defend his wife, and he got his ass beat. Google Pittsburgh Steelers fight with girl, and it'll come right up. And this guy.
Let's watch this.
The poor guy's watching his wife getting involved with this bigger dude. He's like thinking, "Oh, shut the fuck up! I don't want to have to defend you." And then she slaps him, and then it just goes sideways real quick. But at NFL games, if you go to NFL games in America, this happens all the time.
All the time,
drunk, All the time. A lot. People get drunk at noon or 11 a.m., 9 a.m. in the parking lot. So by the time they get into the arena to watch the football game, they're trashed.
Yeah.
Kickoff.
The tailgating, right?
Then you add another 5 or 6 more beers into that, and then you got someone who's like mouthing off, "Oh, the Bills suck. Oh, the Packers suck." It's like, oh, here we go.
Little known fact: one of Lachlan's bridge packs tailgate party.
Yeah, I would have to take a bridge pack this week.
No, I mean the tailgate party itself is your bridge pack, right?
I'm closing in on the end of the 48 pack here, and
Could you party?
By Wednesday I'll be going to the liquor store. I'm not doing a Costco run till Saturday. So anyway,
you're not.
Did you find it? Did you find it, Dean?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
I'd like to see this. I'd like to see this. And is this new? Is this one of the preseason games, Darren?
Yeah, it's a preseason game. Yeah, season starts in 2 weeks from today. Or 2
you know what?
Yesterday.
Fuck, man. Cam Newton is going to lose his spot to that Jones kid. Did you guys watch the highlights?
Yeah, he was incredible. Yeah.
That kid's going to steal fucking Cam Newton's job. Newton goes out for two plays, throws an interception, they yank him, and the fucking kid goes in there and wins the game. He ran some great routes too. I mean, obviously, I know they're calling from the sidelines, but still, I didn't watch the game, but I watched the highlights this morning, and I'm like, holy shit, that fucking Newton! I can't wait for him to lose his gig. You think he's been vaxxed?
No, he is not vaxxed. He had COVID twice.
Oh man, that's awesome!
He had COVID twice. Yeah, he's a mess.
I can't wait for him to be sitting on the sidelines watching this. How old is that Jones kid? He's young too, isn't he?
I think he's like
23.
23, 20, 21 maybe. Yeah,
Mhm.
he looked good though, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
he
have
looked
been
incredible.
to my fair. I've been to my fair.
No
share
idea
of
what you guys
NFL
are talking
games,
about, eh?
And I drink a couple.
I don't
beers.
even know what sport you're talking about. Right
But I
now.
have seen.
Like,
I have actually seen Buffalo Bills fans fight Buffalo Bills fans.
Oh yeah,
I was at
the
a-
yellow
I was at a
shirts
game
go and
a
break it up.
couple years ago, and I'm watching these two guys argue, and I'm like, they're going to fight. And then someone who I was with, the drummer of the Salads, Grant, was like, they're both Bills fans, Darren. Why are they fighting each other? And I'm like, I don't know. And then of course,
They're
words
probably
became-
buddies.
Became fistic. No, it was like a hockey. Like they had each other's shirts and they were like exchanging blows, and I was like, and people were screaming, "You're both Bills fans! What are you doing?" And I'm like,
Here's the Steelers fight. I found it. Darren's 100% right. I was just watching it while you guys were waxing about Cam Newton losing his starting job and everybody cheering because we're fucking tired of Cam
It's
Newton.
hard to watch
I think
because his poor husband is
such
like,
an arrogant dick.
I don't want to fight a guy today.
This is exactly why you need to make sure that the person you're with is a normal human being, because if they're not and they choose to mouth off, you're going to get your ass kicked. Watch this.
Shut up! Shut up! She told you to shut up. You shut up and get the fuck out. Touch me.
Here we go.
Wow.
I mean, he got his ass.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, that was all her.
Yeah.
That is all her. Look at this. She's telling her boyfriend to shut up. He's telling her to stop getting into it with this guy.
Because the two guys were arguing first?
No, the woman is saying, the guy is basically saying, "Can you please stop? Because you're fucking
But I would
totally
love
wasted."
to see the 20 seconds before that, because it looks like those two guys are chirping a little bit at each other. And she just wanted him to,
I don't know, but I mean, she seems to be the nexus of the issue. Hey, Locke, I'm wondering if booze was involved.
She told you.
Watch this.
She
This
told
is
you.
incredible. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he even hit her, eh?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, then now that guy's the bad guy, really.
Oh, he's dead. Oh. Those are some of the best punches I've seen in a long time.
I don't know.
He connected
Eddie
with all
Grant's
of
in pretty good shape, though. That's all I'm saying. You know, like he looks pretty good.
Yeah, that guy was not. He's fought before.
Yeah.
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 You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
He knocked that guy out. He knocked the guy out. He wasn't even out of his seat, and he dummied him. Like,
I know. Did you see him lying back in his chair too? Like, I'm not sure what day it is, but that fucking hurt.
yeah.
My God.
That's a conversation on the ride home about when can you get your friend to come help you move.
In the ambulance. Yeah.
When you can get your friend to come help you move.
Or your mom. Or what's your sister doing this weekend? Okay, and have you got a place to stay? Because
she'll stay with the dude that punched him out. Probably.
Unbelievable, though. Darren, thank you for the update, even though you're just basically disappeared for the rest of the show. That's great. It's fucking unbelievable. Last thing I want to play for everybody before we let you go. This meant something to me when I saw this. I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but he's just living his best life. Like, there's so much going on in the world, right? Elections, pandemics, sadness, all that stuff. And this cat brought me to my fucking knees in laughter today. I can't explain it other than he's my new fucking hero. Have a watch.
Listen to me now.
I've seen this guy.
Listen to me now.
Yeah, but I'll clean it up. I've got wet wipes.
It's everywhere!
Go viral!
I don't care!
That's pretty good.
Listen to him. He's like, He's got a Pepsi in his hand, and he's doing the robot, and the Pepsi's going all over the place, and his wife is losing her fucking mind. But what she doesn't know is he's going fucking viral. Everybody,
Listen to me now. Listen to me now.
The TikTok.
Are they going to come and clean my kitchen floor then?
You are clean up. I've got wet wipes.
It's everywhere.
It's going viral.
I don't care.
That's not his mom? I thought that was his mom.
It looked like a mom. It looked like a mom.
Oh,
It
the
looked
best
like a
part
mom.
of that video is just how disproportionate his pants look to the.
Yeah.
Listen to me now.
He'd be fat, shouldn't he? But he's got these skinny jeans going.
look at his jeans. Look at his
Yeah,
jeans.
you know, Locke is right. Look at like he's got really skinny legs and he's got a big upper torso.
That's a drinking spot. That's a heavy drinker, smoker body. Is what that is.
That's absolutely his mom. That's not his wife. That's his mom.
That's his wife.
There's no way that's his wife.
No, that's his wife.
Look at the pot going all over.
That's totally his wife.
That guy weighed 400 pounds once. You can, like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks like that guy.
No. He's never. I don't think so.
This is the worst he's ever
James,
looked. Yeah.
This is
okay.
that he's literally had those legs and that ass his whole life. If he was a
He
fat
came out
guy,
like that.
look at how tiny his legs.
It's so weird. It's so
Had legs
odd.
like an extra Nightmare
That's
Before
a-
Christmas.
Dude, that's a heavy drinker's body.
Look at his legs.
I
They
got-
don't even look like fucking real legs.
Fucking
Like looks like he's
stick
gonna break.
It's like he goes like this.
And that's
He's
hard
my
boost
hero.
too. Like that's
yeah.
not like he's getting Pepsi. He's mix. That's mix. He's off to the living.
Yeah,
He's off to the front room.
He's gonna put some rum in that for sure.
One more time.
He's got Peaky Blinders on pause.
You know what? Maybe he dances like that because that's all he can move with those jeans and those legs. You know, he's got the C-3PO disease.
I love the athletic
Are they going to
sneakers
come and
too.
clean my kitchen floor then?
You are clean up. I've got wet wipes.
Everywhere.
It's going viral.
I'm going viral. I'm gonna go viral.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that line in the bedroom. Okay, honey, I got
Maybe.
wet wipes.
Baby, I got wet wipes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
care,
good.
relax.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I knew we needed to end on a happy note. So that was
Oh
fun.
my God. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
love the
can't
fact
end-
he's
we
wearing
can't end on-
$250 runners too.
We can't end on the guy getting his ass kicked, can we? We can't end on that. In the Pittsburgh game.
You missed it, dude. You went to the can. You missed it. We played
No,
it for you. You got up and you missed it. I don't
I
think
had
we
to,
should
I had
go
to go
back.
rub one out. Sorry.
So much he loves fights.
I love
Twice.
fights. I get really worked up.
You get
Randy.
excited. All right. Darren Pfeiffer from the Rock and Roll Band Goldfinger. You can find him on Twitter at Darren Pfeiffer. At Darren99 on Twitter, at Dangerous D Show. Dangerous D Show on
Dangerous
Twitter.
Darren show.
Dangerous Darren Show, wherever you get your fine podcasts, Adobe, etc. Speaking of podcasts, James has a Bananarama public podcast. It is tremendous. It's called Blackballed the Podcast. When I say Bananarama, I mean it's a good thing. Like it's kind of crazy.
I'm
that
your
have, like,
Venus.
guys like I'm your fire, I'm your desire.
It's a
Bananarama.
Let's
cruel
go
summer.
roller skate.
It's
Yeah.
a cruel summer.
Yeah. But Blackball the Podcast, wherever you get your fine podcasts, including DeanBlundell.com, is where you can find Dangerous Darren's podcast as well. And Lachlan Cross, you can find him in Edmonton, 95.7 Cruise FM, doing the morning show with the Locker Room, or Lachlan Cross on Twitter. Thanks, guys. Great to see you all today. That was a lot of fun.
Good to see you guys.
That was a good one.
Really
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
that, boys.
Yeah.
Darren,
was
you
fun
need a
too.
mic. Get a mic.
Dean's going to work on that for me.
Blue
Okay.
mic. Get a blue mic. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
being drowned
Thanks,
out
Dean.
here, son.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll work on
guys.
What? Oh,
Guys.
Listen to me now.
Oh, good.
Listen to me now.
The TikTok.
It's for
Are they going to come and clean my kitchen floor then?
You are clean up. I've got wet wipes.
It's everywhere.
It's going viral.
fuck, that's funny.
You know what? While he's doing it, you can hear.
I have to
it
go,
in the
boys.
background going, what
See
are
you,
you
buddy.
doing?
He's leaving. Yeah, I know. She's going crazy. Dude, great to see you again, Darren. Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you. That is Darren Pfeiffer. That was Lachlan. That is James. That's it for the podcast. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Go to deanblundell.com for all our details, including a list of 70-ish podcasts. There's more there. And my friend Ryan's got this one called the Sheeple Shepherd Podcast. Really good. He has Ryan Imgrund, Ryan Imgrund, who's a biostatistician. All he does is tell the truth based on fact on his latest podcast. So if you're confused about how math works and what vaccines are all about, go to the Sheeple Shepherd Podcast at deanblundell.com, courtesy of my friends Ryan and Lindsay. But with me now. Have a great day. Thanks to our friends over at Gitch. Ed's Fine Import sells them. You can get yourself a pair by ordering from them today. He'll send you 4 for the price of 3 when you use promo code GITCH, GITCH, then the number 3. Clothing for men and boys at Ed's Fine Imports. One of my great friends, too. Love him. Thanks for his support. And if you want to buy clothes for yourself and your lads, or if you're a dude and you want to go in and get clothes for your son, do that with Ed. He's a great guy. edsfineimports.com. Thanks to our friends at domination.com. Adam and the crew made some AI for people that produce content, and it's super easy for you to do commercials, promos, etc. It takes minutes instead of hours. It is free to try. Go to dmntn.com. Try it today for free, and let me know what you think. It's fucking unbelievable. It's like the answer for anybody that is doing content and you don't have a crew behind you. We have a crew that uses it, which makes everybody's life easier. dmntn.com today. Thanks to our friends at Blue Microphones as well. Obviously, the best microphones and streaming, gaming, podcast equipment on the planet. Obviously, it's affordable. Obviously, XLR mics like this, the Blue Yeti X, the old school Yeti, is a litany of different mics, including ones that have boom arms on them, so you can bring them in from up top. You can tons of stuff. Logitech cameras, that's all we use. Stuff from our friends at Blue, a Logitech company. So make sure that if you're doing content, you get in touch with our friends over at bluemic.com or go to @BlueMicrophones on Twitter and check them all out today as well. And our friends at Easy Auto Financial want to get you in a car. Do it. These are great people. And it's super easy to get yourself a vehicle. There is absolutely zero dicking around with these guys. They take care of your financing. They won't charge you for it. And then they'll find the car that you want with you and send you to go get it with your financing in hand. Super easy to do. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. They're my friends. They should be your friends too. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being part of the podcast. We always appreciate it. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at deanblundell.com, and we will see you tomorrow. Be safe, everybody. Vote or not. It's up to you. Bye.